you imagine like being Anthony Richardson and walking into like the office and they're like, look, kid, we're going to start Danny. Like, no, dude, that just doesn't happen. Like, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Field Goals and Forecasts. I guess you would call this season 2, episode 1, but we're here. We're back. We're at it again. Football is what, in 2 days? I mean, 1 day from when this is posted.
Yes.
Unbelievable. If you don't know, I'm Ryan Adio. As always, joined by my lovely co-host, James Derrick. And on the commentary couch over there, we've got our producers, Ryan Lombardi and Austin Townley. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it as always. But why not just jump into the football? I mean, what else can you say?
Sports.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
of course.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Of course.
But, let's just jump into it. Go right into it.
So, I mean, we got to start with the Bills. I feel like that's, it's routine at this point. Not too much has happened, but I guess you could start with some non-on-the-field news. Josh Allen, number 3 on the NFL top 100 list after winning the MVP. I mean, do you think he should have been higher? You think that's a good spot for him?
Here's what I'll say. The MVP should be won. However, I didn't think he was going to win the MVP when he won it. Like, I remember watching, just thinking, this is Lamar Jackson, this is Lamar Jackson, this is Lamar Jackson.
I said the same thing, yeah. I would agree with you.
Honestly, 3 seems fair. I'm down with 3.
3's a good spot. So if Saquon's 1, I mean, why not MVP? I mean, if Lamar's 2, why not MVP?
Well,
I mean, you could beg the question there.
Saquon's the best player in the NFL. He is. He's
you could also. I don't actually know. Either you guys can Google where Jamar Chase ended up if he was 4, 5. But I mean, you could argue he should be number 1 as well. Triple Crown winner. He was an Offensive Player of the Year, but he definitely could have been. And if you're talking about best player on the field, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been up there.
Where Jamar Chase finished at number 4.
4. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a fair spot.
I feel like no matter what, you're going to have a gripe with someone not being number 1. There's a lot of really good MVP caliber players in the NFL that could go out and do it this year. So,
yeah.
I mean, hey.
All right. How about you guys? What do you think? Josh Allen, fair spot or bad spot or what?
He was the MVP. I think he should be 1.
Okay.
Personally.
There you go.
I feel like the Bills fans just aren't used to getting things handed to them.
That's
like,
true.
This player's number 1. Like, I'm down with that.
And I'm not a Bills fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like the definition of MVP says an annual honor presented to the player deemed to have been the most valuable and impactful for their team during the regular season. I think you can make the argument that Saquon, yes, he was a huge impact, but think about how many other players, like star-studded players that he had around him.
You get rid of Josh Allen from the Bills, they're done. They're going 3. They're 3 and 4
you
too.
Get rid of Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. Maybe they're not as good, but they still had Derrick Henry. And I mean, the Ravens defense was awesome this year.
Ultimately, Saquon Barkley doesn't play quarterback. And, running back is the second most important position behind quarterback. Honestly, arguably, you could say some other things are more important.
I would say a defensive, linebacker.
Probably, corner 1,
maybe,
safety.
But, in terms of how you score points, running back.
Maybe middle linebacker, you will.
I think even if the Eagles had still, DeAndre Swift last year, they still probably could have gone the same space that they went to. They really could have.
That O-line was incredible.
That O-line was incredible last year.
Yes. That's a hot take, but you have to imagine Swift would have definitely had success.
Yeah, I mean, their team definitely
not as successful as Saquon.
Yeah, their team definitely got a boost, especially on the defensive side. But they did have DeAndre Swift and didn't make it, so it's.
With the younger team.
They beat the crap out of the Chiefs too in the Super Bowl.
They did beat the crap out
of the
Chiefs.
Like if you want to talk just the Super Bowl, they probably could have won without Saquon Barkley.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, just the Super Bowl 100%. But getting to that point, I don't think they get to that point without Saquon. Anyway, Tyrell Shavers making the 53 man roster. You love to see it.
Made me smile.
He's kind of been fighting for a spot for 3 years now.
I don't know the exact number of
years.
A
long time. And I actually wonder how we will utilize him. I mean, the whole thing with the Bills is we've got this, group of guys that is doing their best to be as good as possible. No single number 1. You know what I'm trying to say there? So maybe that's just where we use him, just a deep X.
Totally. But when Mitch Trubisky comes in the game, he's looking for Tyrell. That's what I'm saying.
That connection, it's proven preseason proof. Number 1 connection in preseason. And then you add another receiver today, Gabe Davis, coming back to the Bills. That's brutal. I don't like it at all. I think it's one of the most random moves. I mean, maybe if he ends up like practice squad guy, go ahead. Yeah.
Direct quote from Ryan Adio today. I actually couldn't care less.
Yeah. That I don't really care. I mean,
pretty much the same.
We got rid of Gabe Davis, replaced him with Gabe Davis 2, or Keon Coleman, as the kids call him. And now we got Gabe Davis 1 back.
Yeah.
What is the point? So I don't get it.
They can just kind of, like bounce off each other,
Yeah.
Like, we can have either, Gabe Davis in on this play or Keon Coleman in on this play. It doesn't matter. Or both. Just have 2 Gabe Davises on the field at once.
I'm telling you this right now. If you have Gabe Davis and Keon Coleman in on the same play, that's a Josh Allen 15-yard scramble.
I think it is.
Because he's not finding either of them.
No, they probably won't get much separation.
But you know what I will tell you about Gabe Davis is he's an excellent blocker. So maybe that's why we wanted him.
We needed to plug in the spot for my boy Mac Hollins,
Yeah, that's true. Mac Hollins played like 3 different Bills receivers. So now we've replaced him with 3 different people. Brutal. But
just to know, he is only on the practice squad. That's what they signed him to. Yeah. So he's not on the 53-man yet.
That works for me.
He's going to make it. He's my favorite.
But I hope to see 2 Gabe Davises on the field at once.
I will say, though, I had both a Tre'Davious White and Gabe Davis jersey that I had put into retirement, and I can bring them both out for this season, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, probably could have bought them at a discount if you waited until now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fair. I probably could have saved myself a good $100, $200 maybe.
Yeah, but they don't go for too much these days.
Yeah, I could agree with that. So anyway, back on the Bills. Last thing I really got to say, I mean, back to that 2-man team captain thing that we saw from last year. Of course, Josh Allen and then Terrell Bernard. But it worked last year. Why go away from it? Fair picks. Not much really to say.
I don't these are the kinds of things that I don't think matter to the team. No. So it doesn't matter to me.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys don't care about it at all.
Okay. Well, that was as much Bills talk as we could get out of the preseason. Let's jump into our field goals of the week, a new segment that we're bringing to you this year. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's not actually going to be the field goals of the week. If we sat here and talked about kickers for a good 30 minutes, that would be brutal. We're going to talk about the stuff that was good, the stuff that was no good, and the stuff that was wide left is name pending on that one. But stuff that wasn't even close to being good. Let's talk about the good. I think you got to go with what was good first. You start with some preseason action. I think all the rookie QBs, maybe with a couple exceptions, played very well in preseason. I'm looking at their stats here. The one that really stood out to me the most, I would say, I guess, is, obviously you could talk about Shedeur for forever and how, but then he's 3rd-string quarterback, so who cares? Exactly. I really liked Jackson Dart's performance.
He played the Bills,
Yes.
So I made sure I watched that.
Exactly.
But, I also saw, I don't want to get too off topic, but Teron Johnson almost like hurting himself in that game too. I was actually furious about it. I think I was texting you and I was texting you. I don't know why he did that. That was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, because why would you put your whole body on the line in preseason? He hit him good though.
He did hit him good. Nothing says the Bills like hitting him good when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I guess it's all there's not a lot to say bad. I will say, I think Shedeur outplayed Dylan Gabriel, but Dylan Gabriel did get that, QB2 spot. Shedeur's in that emergency 3rd. But when you draft a guy higher, you kind of got to give him that liberty.
Yeah. And the thing is, Dylan Gabriel would have been available where Shedeur Sanders was picked, and Shedeur Sanders obviously was available when Dylan Gabriel
Nobody
was
touching him.
No, they almost could have signed those guys after the draft.
Yeah, I actually completely agree with that.
But I will say, in terms of who I'm most excited for, I think the obvious answer is Jackson Dart, simply because I think he kind of has the more potential to be a little more explosive. I saw some throws where he can kind of push it downfield a little bit more. He's got Malik Neighbors, and quite honestly, Cam Ward doesn't have that. He's got Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, the one thing that stands out to me about Cam Ward's performance is 1 rushing yard. He ran for 1 rushing yard, which surprises me. Very, very much surprises me. I was expecting more, but I guess My next question for you is who are you most excited to see this season of those rookie quarterbacks?
Jackson Dart. I mean,
Granted, he
as I
plays. Granted, he plays.
if he plays, but I want to see him get in there. I think he's one of those guys that will get in there. They got confidence in him. I think couple weeks down the road, he'll be better than Cam Ward even. That's a hot take. But,
Okay, go ahead, guys. Who are you excited
Just
to see?
with Jackson Dart, I'm pretty sure he's listed as the third string behind
Really?
Jameis.
He's the
Wow.
Jameis is.
I'm pretty
Second?
sure Russ is starting. Jameis is 2.
Is that?
I mean,
Are you
fact
looking
check-
at the depth chart right
No,
now?
I'm not looking, but
Okay.
I'm going off knowledge. But with Jackson Dart, I think the Giants would really be making a mistake with not letting him sit behind 2 veteran QBs in his
100%.
first season. Look at the track record of quarterback.
He is too?
Is Jackson Dart 2?
Wow.
All right, sorry.
Unlucky. Yeah.
Betting
happens.
misinformation. I think
you're right though. I think
they'd be doing a disservice.
Yeah.
Look at the quarterbacks who have sat behind veteran quarterbacks.
I say
think
this
of
every
guys
year,
like
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, even though he only sat not a full
he
year.
sat. He
but-
sat though. Yeah.
But he sat a good amount of time. And you look at those guys; they really excelled.
Yeah.
In those, even like a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo sat behind Tom Brady for quite some time.
I mean, yeah.
and
That
started to
tracks
play
back
really
to,
well.
to like Dak. I mean, you could go back forever to talk about QBs that sat. But yeah, I think you're right. Jackson Dart just needs to sit a bit. He's very inexperienced, I would say. The Ole Miss offense gave him a lot of help. He's got a really nice deep ball, but he needs to learn a lot of more fundamentals before he really gets in.
And with a guy like Russell Wilson, who's won a Super Bowl,
Yes.
like who better to sit behind than him?
Yeah.
No, I mean, just to kind of clarify exactly what I'm looking for from a Jackson Dart this season that makes him more exciting for me is I feel like in any little time that Jackson Dart might get, maybe in a blowout game here or there, I'm more excited to see him than Cam Ward all season, just because
Wow.
I feel like Cam Ward is in a situation where he could easily be very not good.
The Cam Ward disrespect is unbelievable.
I'm
Is that-
with it.
is that
He's
crazy?
a captain, guys.
Yes.
I think he's going to be incredible.
He's a
not
captain
gonna
his
have
rookie
one
year,
rushing
yeah.
yard every.
Yeah.
One rushing yard. How is that even possible?
Look, it's preseason.
One.
I mean,
It's preseason.
I should have clarified that earlier. It is preseason. None of this matters.
Yeah,
Realistically,
he's a
none of it
captain
matters.
year one. He's
Yeah.
a rookie. He's got the keys to the offense. They're saying, "Hey, go do your thing. Be Cam Ward. Lead us to some wins." They're not looking to win a lot of games. I mean,
Yeah, I genuinely
good.
think he's one of the most not talked about first overall picks
weird.
ever.
It's weird.
No one no one is talking about him. He has no media attention. And granted, the Titans are very bad, but I still think he's going to come in and change the culture there for
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
I hope he does. I can agree with that
But-
at least.
I am excited to see him, obviously. I mean, he's the first overall pick. I feel like that's granted. But I am really excited to see how the Seahawks use Jalen Milroe this year. They have talked a lot about putting him in and using him not as their starting quarterback, but as like a Taysom Hill type role, which I think would be really interesting to see.
I think that's his only option.
That is his only real option because he can't really throw. But granted, it'd be fun to see. So, why not?
Yeah,
All right.
sure. Jalen Milroe.
All right.
I don't think
That feels like a
anyone's excited to
disrespect,
see him.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I feel like there's a lot of Seahawks fans that are really excited.
I'm excited to see Jalen Milroe. Said nobody.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Nobody ever.
The disrespect is
There's
crazy.
still Seahawks fans out there. You
Um,
think?
They all dwindled out
Yeah.
after.
yeah, after the Legion of Boom, they kind of.
Wait, this
yeah.
is I know this is off topic, but can we Sam Darnold Seahawks? What do we think of that?
I like it.
Well, I mean, that kind of ties us into our next segment, the
sorry.
no good. Because I think he's going to be no good on the Seahawks. I don't love it. Kevin O'Connell is the perfect place for him to be. And once you go away from that, I don't think that he's going to play as well. I don't think he's coming back from that. I think the Seahawks are kind of going off his last year's stats and not how well he plays in a good system. And I don't think he's going to play well at all.
I think Kevin O'Connell is sneakily a top 5 head coach in the NFL.
It's
I
not
think
even
he's-
sneakily. He won Coach of the Year last year.
After
I
last
think this
season, especially, I think he solidifies that. I mean, prior to that, I think you could certainly have called him underrated. But
Yeah.
last season was definitely his.
Because look at Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
He
I was
goes.
just gonna say
Yep.
Cousins goes to the Falcons.
Yep.
Struggles.
Case Keenum. I don't even know if he was there, but Case Keenum. It's something about Minnesota and just those guys going over. It just doesn't work. I don't know. There's something about it. Something in the water there that makes
he could
people
be dead
good.
wrong, and he could go to the Seahawks and play unbelievably well.
I think he's going to be pretty decent. I mean, you don't pay that guy that much money. He had a great season
I've seen it
last year.
before, but yeah.
I mean, he got paid for a reason. He's got good receivers around him.
And we got the Cowboys couch over here talking about how much money to pay a quarterback.
That's
You know?
true.
We're gonna go
That's
ahead
true.
and stop talking now.
Yeah, Cowboys couch. Actually, let's continue our no good. How about the Micah Parsons trade? We haven't even touched that at all.
I'm gonna let Austin go first on this.
Yeah, so 4-year,
because Austin and I have different opinions.
$188 million contract with the Packers, $120 million guarantee. The Cowboys received Kenny Clark, 2 first-round picks. I feel like that's not enough to get back for him, but hey, what can I say? And then
You think?
2 first-round picks.
You don't think it's
this year,
you don't think
next
it's enough
year?
for Mike Parsons?
Well, they could always trade those first-round picks for Pro Bowl talent.
Yeah, dude.
that's never gonna happen.
No, he's
Jerry
not.
Jones.
No. And
is-
they're gonna pick some goober out of like TCU, and he's gonna be terrible. So
Well, TCU looked pretty good last night.
fair
But-
enough, actually.
but-
But
Listen, man. Jerry Jones, what are you doing? Genuinely, I know Micah's hurt. I get it, but he's gonna be fine. It's Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
It's literally Micah Parsons. He might be one of the best defensive players I've ever watched in my life. He's one of the
Yeah.
best defensive players in the league right now. We traded him for 2 first-round picks and a 30-year-old.
yeah.
Come on, dude. That's just not good enough at all. In my eyes, it's not good enough. I don't care if he's hurt. I don't care if you didn't want to pay him. I would have rather them trade Dak Prescott than they trade Micah Parsons, and I will stand on that. I don't care. I would have rather built around Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, go with that, draft some quarterback. Who's our backup? Our backup's pretty good, isn't he not?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton is not bad. He's not bad. I don't know why you're making that face. He's not horrible. Joe Milton? Are we serious?
I mean,
Joe Milton's not good.
Like,
He's not.
He's
not
serviceable.
Joe Milton
He's
has.
very much serviceable.
Joe Milton is like the Justin Herbert of like young quarterbacks, where it's like, oh, but what if?
He's
like-
serviceable.
He has unbelievable arm strength, like unbelievable arm talent. He could not hit you if you were 5 yards away from him. He would throw it over your head.
Listen, I do love Dak though, but I'm just saying Micah Parsons being traded is.
But but that's the
it's-
thing is they already paid Dak. They didn't pay Micah. They didn't want to pay Micah. I mean, I guess Jerry's really worried about this injury, or he's just kind of dumb. But I think he just didn't want Dak he didn't want Micah anymore. Excuse me, and he just sent him off. I mean, he said it himself. He could have paid him, and he did not want to.
I'm furious.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
furious.
All right,
I don't.
all right.
I'm.
Right,
This
I'm
is gonna
actually
be a
interested
crazy-
to
this is gonna be a
hear what you
crazy
have to
take.
say.
You're gonna say.
No, I don't hate it at all. Micah, I don't even think Micah is a top 3 defense. No, he probably is 3rd best defensive player in the NFL.
Who's 1 and 2?
I would say T.J. Watt and Bosa.
Bosa. Okay.
Nick Bosa.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett too.
So-
So I would say maybe he's 4th.
Not past or 10 even.
But
But he was hurt. Like
There's a lot
I don't
of
know.
players in that conversation, but I don't
All
know.
right, maybe he's 3rd behind Garrett and T.J. Watt, but I just don't think.
Nick Bosa's definitely not in that top 3 conversation, at least to me.
I don't think so.
But
I think he was.
he was.
Yeah.
He had his time
before
but,
his injury.
uh,
But with the Micah thing, he was a locker room nightmare. If you saw how he was acting during preseason, it was a complete joke.
Yeah.
Walking around eating food. Falcons fans are like, hey, like, come to the Falcons. He's like, call me. Like,
And then
that's
he
just
didn't, but-
so disrespectful. He's like laying out, sleeping on the trainer's table. This guy didn't want to be in Dallas. Yes, we could have paid him, but the money that Green Bay gave him was absurd. And I just don't think
I agree with that.
a guy is worth that much money, especially on defense. I don't think he's that much.
I mean, Micah Parsons could potentially go down as the most valuable defensive end of all time. So
Yeah,
he's played
I know,
4
I
career
know.
seasons in the NFL. He's got 52 and a half sacks.
but for guy,
The
I mean,
sack record in 19 seasons
Jerry Jones needs to go.
is 200.
but to be fair,
Bruce Smith
That's
in
actually a
19
crazy stat.
seasons had 200 sacks. Micah Parsons has a quarter of that in 4 seasons.
4.
he only played 13 games last year, and if you look
That's
at his first few seasons, he had like his stats were way lower than like he had a down year.
He did have a down year, but when you're talking about talent wise,
The team had a down
and it is Micah Parsons, he played coverage linebacker a lot at Penn State. Like you can do so much with him that I don't think you can get out of a TJ Watt or a Miles Garrett or a Nick Bosa, for example. And I think that when you have a guy who's that talented, I just don't think you get rid of him. There's
But
just
to be fair, he didn't want to play for the Cowboys this season. Also,
he,
all right, but yeah, we would have to pay him that kind of money, and for the return that he might have just left in free agency, the
Yes.
return we got for him is way worth it. Like, I mean, Kenny Clark, yes, he's
You would have had
old
to
and
pay.
probably washed up, but 2 first-round picks. I'm a firm believer that
The return was trash.
there's no such thing as a bad first-round pick. You could be picking 32nd in the first round, and I still don't think it's a bad pick in the NFL.
No, yes,
I like
I
that.
think you're right about that. I think you can pick the wrong player, which Jerry
Yes.
Jones tends to do. I guess maybe he has a decent track record these days, but what I want to say is like no first round pick, no amount of picks. Maybe if you gave me 10, like that's enough for Micah. Like just taking
I
that
just think
gamble.
he was going to leave in free agency. That's
He
the
would
only
have
thing.
left.
I don't think so. I don't.
Honestly,
He would have left because you didn't pay him, but Jerry didn't pay him soon enough. He waited until all the other defensive ends were paid, and then he decided to pay him when the market was already up here. He should have paid him much
It
It was
earlier. Yes.
188 million over 4 years for a guy who's got a track record of injuries.
Yes.
Is just not
yeah.
worth it to me.
he's got a track
I
record
think it is.
of being the best defensive end.
But
in
You,
the
but
NFL.
Okay,
healthy, he's
not
unstoppable.
Healthy. He's
Yes,
not 100%.
I can
Also,
agree with
Big
that.
Dak, who's never healthy.
that is also true. I will say, I think the contract is a bit much, but again, they waited so long to pay him, and this is something that the Packers need. I mean, granted, they no longer have their defensive tackle to really give him block proofs, but he can get outside on that, like in the 9 technique area. He can get outside in the will. He can go Mike. He can play whatever you need him to be because he's that talented and he's just that guy on defense. You just don't get rid of him. And I think it's extremely disrespectful that like 4 or 5 days later, they paid Deron Bland 4 year, $92 million for a mid corner. That's crazy.
Coming off like
Can't even,
coming off an injury that has
Yep.
you can't play man to man.
yeah that has tended to change.
He had a couple
quarterbacks.
good interceptions that 1 year, and then yeah, unbelievable work.
Also got torched by Tyreek Hill.
There is
So.
nothing anybody can tell me and sit here and say to convince me that trading Micah Parsons was a good idea. Jerry Jones, you need to go. You need to hire a GM or something.
I mean, I think
100%. I think everyone in this room can
You're
agree
too set
Jerry
in your
Jones
ways.
is
The
done.
time's evolving. You have to evolve with the game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
That's
I'm
how
not,
it
like,
goes.
don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with the Micah trade, but like I'm content with what we got for a guy that was a locker room issue and a problem on the field. Like I'm content
Yeah.
with what we got.
I mean,
And I
also,
will
if you're-
say-
if you're from the thought that you think he's going to leave in free agency, obviously something
Yeah.
for him is better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think that he became a locker room issue later on. He really did want to be Dallas. Like when he
had
got the
issues, though, at
call,
Penn State
yeah.
as well though. Like this is nothing new for him.
College kid.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. I think if we go out and make a splash, another trade, then I can reconvene and be like, okay, maybe I'm content with this package. But until Jerry Jones does something else, this is horrible. I think this is horrible. A 30-year-old and 2 first round, we could have gotten 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
We could have gotten a second or a third from another team on top of 2 first round picks. I bet you we could have. A 30-year-old, it's gonna help us a little bit, but like Micah Parsons. It's Micah Parsons, guys.
Maybe the Packers will just be really bad and we'll get a top 10 pick.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
And have 2
That-
top 10 picks because we're probably gonna be really bad.
I actually said this the other day that if you take the Cowboys offense and the Giants defense and combine them, that's a Super Bowl winning team. But the Cowboys defense is terrible and the Giants offense is no good.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys offense is gonna have to carry the team if they want to win games. This
Yeah,
year.
and I just
don't think
they're no Joe Burrow, Jamar
if
Chase.
Dak is healthy, maybe because I like the addition of George Pickens.
Me too, I think.
Obviously, we have CD Lamb. The run game's gonna be a lot of question marks, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but I think we got to move on from this, or else that couch is going to start on fire. In a minute,
Yeah,
so.
I can already feel the heat coming off of it from here. So we'll cool down for a sec. Part of the no good from the preseason, of course, the Lions. Is it Morris or Morris?
I'm not sure.
Norris.
Yeah,
Injured in the preseason.
I saw this game. Yeah,
Suspended the game. They kind of just came together, both teams, and prayed for a guy who obviously just went down with a huge injury. I think. Well, it is no good that he got hurt and he's going to be out for a while. I think, especially nowadays, you see a camaraderie and a brotherhood in football that isn't, like the old days. A lot of guys are like, rivals used to hate each other. I wish it was like that, but it's like at the same time, I think all of these guys have an understanding of what it's like to to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
And injuries being a part of that as well.
And I think like with anything, you get fired up and you're like, oh man, like I'm gonna take you down on this or whatever. Like you start throwing punches. You don't hate the guy. Like
Exactly.
you at the end of the game, you're gonna shake hands with everybody. Like no one is really that mad about anything. But I think that this was a really nice moment. Falcons, Lions. I mean, they're playing for nothing. I mean, these guys.
Exactly.
There was nothing, and it's such a shame to see like someone so young too go off with such a terrible injury. And yeah, thank God that everything is okay with him now. But it would have just been brutal, and it reminds me a lot of the whole Damar Hamlin incident when that happened. And like, of course, that game was stopped. This game was stopped. I mean, that just shows. I mean, I want to say like the class in the NFL, right? They take injuries very seriously, at least now. And I think that especially injuries in a who cares game, like that the players' health and the players' minds and the teamwork and those like bonds are more important than the game.
And if anything, this was the epitome of how seriously the NFL wants to, react to injuries, especially, head injuries, especially. They kind of emphasize a little bit more, but, this is kind of the modern NFL, the epitome of what they kind of want fans and players alike to kind of feel when people do get hurt. Because obviously it's a barbaric game.
A little bit, but it is what it is. And then we'll get into our final thing, the wide left, or the shanked, nowhere near good, right? Here's what I have to say. I cannot believe Daniel Jones is a starting QB in the National Football League. Daniel Jones is the starting QB of the Indianapolis Colts. How? I don't see the thought. I don't understand. I've talked for so long about how bad Daniel Jones is. There is no saving him. I don't see any potential. This is brutal. How bad is Anthony Richardson that they had to start Daniel Jones?
You mean you didn't draft Michael Pittman in fantasy?
No, actually, no. I would never do that.
You did?
I did. And it was before they named Daniel Jones the starter.
Even still, okay, look. Anthony Richardson was never good, but at least I looked at Anthony Richardson and I said, this guy has potential. I look at Daniel Jones and I say, wow, what a waste of a first round pick.
And not to steal anyone's thunder here, but like if Daniel Jones is named the starter, then what is the reality of Anthony Richardson's situation with the Indianapolis Colts? He can't earn starter over Daniel Jones.
Is he really like supposed to just sit and learn behind? How do you learn from Daniel Jones? What could he possibly teach you?
I know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Austin.
You can learn what not to do.
That is a good point. That is a great point.
That's great.
That was a great point.
You know what? Maybe that's what the Colts are trying to do. They're like, we'll get another good pick next year. We'll let AR figure out what not to do.
And it's not like he's up for trade. Like teams called about Anthony Richardson and they're just like, nah, we'll keep him. Man, you know what? Maybe next year. You got it, buddy.
I said on my first podcast ever, I think it was my first ever episode I've ever done in 2021, that Daniel Jones would never be more than a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is...
I don't know how he keeps getting away with this.
I honestly, my comparison was like, he is Ryan Fitzpatrick, just lesser. He's the lesser.
No, not even that. Ryan, do not put disrespect on Ryan Fitzpatrick's name, because that man could get in a starting role and he could lead you. You could lead a touchdown drive. Daniel Jones is not him. He will never be him. He will never be anything. He is not good at playing football. End of story.
Wow. They've really gone tremendous lengths just to make sure that take doesn't age well, right? Because someone must have made a call and been like, you got to start Daniel Jones at quarterback. Is going to make this kid look even
Yeah,
worse.
when he got dropped by the Giants last year, like this take like really came back. I used it a lot, and now I'm like,
can you imagine?
Well, when he gets benched by like week 5 for AR, then we're good.
Yeah. Can you imagine like being Anthony Richardson and walking into like the office and they're like, look, kid, we're going to start Danny. Like, no, dude, that just doesn't happen. Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that exists.
I can't believe he hasn't been as much of a locker room cancer as Micah Parsons at that point, to be completely
honestly
honest.
And he did handle it pretty well, I will say. But we got to get into our extra point, which is just an extra thing we want to say here. This isn't really even football related, but I saw this earlier. I just want to talk a bit about
this was
it.
interesting.
Johnny Manziel went on a podcast with Shannon Sharp Chad Ochocinco. I don't even know what the podcast is called, if I'm being so honest, but I saw the clip. And he said he hopes the Browns go winless every single season and that he hates them forever.
Pretty sure it's Johnny Manziel's podcast.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right.
He said
Yeah.
on his own podcast that he brought on Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, which, whatever. But do you think that the Browns deserve that?
I mean, hey, they didn't do him right, let's say. However, at the same time, he has to also admit to some of his own shortcomings. I
Yes.
feel like, what the Browns didn't make you not good at quarterback
Yes.
necessarily.
Like, blame the Browns all you want, but brother, you didn't read the playbook. You didn't take time to study.
I think it might have been the drugs and the beer that
Yeah.
made him
Or
a bad
that.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Or just the fact that, like his career was effectively over after his time with the Browns. Like there are guys that have a terrible situation and then they get like released by the team or
Yeah.
whatever and they start somewhere new and they're better.
Baker Mayfield in the exact same situation. And Baker Mayfield is a dog. Let me say, he's out partying. He's not messing around, right? He's doing the same thing, not the same things, but it's very similar to Johnny Manziel. Very similar career paths, but Baker Mayfield made it, man. And like, Johnny, you're just not him, I guess.
I have Johnny's direct quote here.
All right, go ahead.
I sit here today and I'm like, F it. I think I'm going to be pissed at them and hate them forever. So it is what it is, man. No love for the Browns. I'm rooting for 0-16 seasons every season.
0-16. Brother didn't even know that they expanded to 18 games. Crazy work.
Here's what I'll say too, is I think like deep down, that's something that he probably understands and would admit to, that, he probably should have read the playbook, or this or that. But when it comes down to it, let the man hate,
Let the man hate, sure, but it's undeserved. I hate the Browns just as much as he does, but I'm not saying that, all right? Anyway, we got to move on. Let's get into our fantasy starts and sits for week 1.
Wow.
This is something I'm excited about. I'll tell you what.
Fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's my
There's nothing better than there's a lot better than fantasy football, but there's nothing better than fantasy football when you're down 6 points and you got your kicker left. Like, that's just peak right there.
When you're hoping for your kicker to nail a couple field goals.
You're just sweating one out. Like, that's the best. That is really the best.
Never mind. Let's just start with your starts.
Let's do my starts. Yeah. So I got to be a little creative here, right? I'm not going to tell you to start, Josh Allen. Like, that's just too obvious. Give me Bryce Young at the Jaguars. I'm starting Bryce Young. I actually have him starting in a league. Call me crazy, but that Jaguars defense is awful. I couldn't even name you like more than 4 players. Actually, I could, but that's not the point.
Well, I'll take you at 4. I don't know. I couldn't name more than 4 players. For me, at quarterback, because again, I like your thought process. I'm not going to tell you to start Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You should be starting him anyways. However, if you're in a pretty deep league and you feel like you didn't draft a quarterback at all, that's very good. Reach for Joe Flacco. He's playing the Cincinnati Bengals. All right.
That is true. That is true.
Sucks.
And you know what? I saw him riding around with David Njoku. So you know what? I will say,
If you want to start that stack,
yes, what? I have a tight end here, but I'm going to go out of order and say start David Njoku because they look like that pairing of Joe Flacco, David Njoku is elite. I will say.
yeah. And I mean, hey, if we're gonna go straight to tight end,
Sure.
give me Brenton Strange.
Wow.
Because the Panthers, while they do have a pretty formidable defense, they got some guys in the secondary even. They did terrible against the tight end position last year. And I'm excited to see Strange kind of blossom a little bit more. Trevor Lawrence liked to hit Evan Ingram a lot. He was kind of one of those guys that racked up receptions. I'm not saying expect 15 plus from Brenton Strange. However, same kind of thing. If you're reaching for a tight end, you feel like you got someone there that sucks, put him in there. He might be able to do some work for you. He's probably on the waiver wire in a 12-man league.
Yeah, and I do have to be a little careful here because we have a fantasy draft later. I do have to be careful with what I say here, but another tight end that I have here is Evan Ingram, but I won't say much about that because Bo Nix. I mean, what else can I say?
I actually already drafted him in another league.
Exactly. You get it.
What can I say?
All right, wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall. I really like Ricky Pearsall coming out this year. He's playing Seattle, which I think genuinely is a pretty good defense, but he is the wide receiver 1.
And the Niners just usually beat Seattle, I feel like. That they usually
I think that's a fair thing to say. I mean, sure, Juwan Jennings is there, but he's questionable. He doesn't really want to play for the 49ers. I think Ricky Pearsall falls in that wide receiver 1 slot, and I really like it. And his ADP is like 11th round, maybe, like something really late.
Yeah, I mean, hey, for wide receiver for me, you might get on me a little bit. I have a pretty brand named guy at wide receiver, but you must start him. I think he's projected only like 13 points this week in PPR, which is so low against a defense that sucks this bad. That's Devontae Smith against the Dallas Cowboys. I think
I'm not a big Devontae Smith fan in fantasy.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially with how thin their defense is, I feel like Devontae.
No, I think that's a good play. Yeah, absolutely.
Like 25.
He has those games where he goes crazy, and then
I mean, and that's kind of what you're gonna get with this Eagles offense is it's kind of be this mouth is fed this week, this mouth is fed that week, and it's not always even. But I have a better feeling about Devontae Smith in that wide receiver room than AJ Brown, to be completely honest.
That's definitely a take.
It is a take.
Anyway, running back. I really like Travion Henderson, although I think that's really basic. I mean, if you're really hesitant about starting him, start him. But if you really need someone, go for Ollie Gordon. I think right now he might be the running back 1 if Devon Achane is out, which even if he's not, he's still questionable. You could split touches here at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's like someone that you should kind of just go to your league that if you've drafted already right now and just pick him up.
Yeah.
Put him on
Why
the
not?
bench, stash
Why not?
him.
Yeah.
And again, not due to injury, but due to a trade, I'm kind of in a similar situation where I want you to pick a Commanders running back against the Giants. I've got Austin Eckler here because he's labeled as the 1. But you could easily go for the rookie Krosky Merritt or whatever, however you say the last name there. But I think the rookie might be a little more explosive. However, again, Eckler is
what you're getting out of Eckler, and it's not really a lot, but that's fair enough. I do have like a flex spot here because I just want to talk about one extra player here. Give me Zay Flowers. I know a lot of people really hate him, and I might be the only person that really likes him this year, but I think he is going to have an up year here.
I will say, last time the Ravens played the Bills in the regular season, Zay Flowers put up a dud.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
Rashad Bateman for that reason, but all the same.
For a start?
You gotta.
I said he put up a dud last season.
Oh.
He had, I think,
I was
points.
I just kind of assumed a dud was like, I just
didn't thought a dud was a good thing?
I don't know. I wasn't really listening. I'm going to be completely honest, but it is what it is.
No, I'll give you that agast the Bills, but whatever.
You have a flex spot?
I got a flex that you got to start, and that's Jameson Williams. He's probably starting for you already.
Yeah.
But especially against Green Bay, as you mentioned in one of the videos that you actually posted either today or yesterday, Green Bay's defense, the secondary's thinned out a little bit more. Micah Parsons is going to affect that game a lot more now, obviously. But I still feel really good about Jameson Williams. I don't think they have enough defensive backs in that backfield to
I agree.
defend him as well.
We'll get into sits now.
Yes.
You start with QB again. Here we go. Sam Darnold, for the same reason that we talked about earlier. I just don't think he's going to be that good. End of story, really. Thanks, yeah.
I'll go Dak Prescott against the Eagles. I think they might lose that game by like 30, so he might not be playing. He could have
30.
some upside if you guys keep it close enough. He could have some upside where he's just throwing, every time.
I actually do think that Dak would be a good fantasy QB this year, just not against the Eagles.
No, not against the Eagles, but just saying, could be valuable if Dallas keeps it close, but I think it's a blowout where he just...
Yeah, fair enough. All right, you want to start with wide receiver?
Yeah, sure. And this might be a little controversial because he's their 1, I think, but... Give me Xavier Worthy against the Chargers.
That would be, yeah.
He only had, in 2 games, he had 10 total targets against the Chargers. He caught 8 of them. One of the games, he put up 16 points due to like a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
If you take that away, he's been absolutely horrible against the Chargers. One of those games, he actually played after Rashee Rice got hurt. And he didn't play very well in that game either. So I don't think Xavier Worthy is the kind of receiver that will excel against the Chargers in a X spot, what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe be a little careful with him. I'm not saying bench Xavier Worthy. I think he's got value just because he's their 1. But reserve
my wide receiver here, it's kind of a group of wide receivers. Just don't start anybody on the Bills. I just don't. Again, every year it's a committee thing, and they're playing, I think, the strongest defense in the league right now. It's just not worth it. That's all I got. I mean, I know there's a lot of Bills fans listening. I know that there's a lot of Bills fans that tend to pick like Keon Coleman, like kind of early. Just don't do it, man.
Yeah. I'll get it started for running back.
All right.
Tony Pollard against Denver.
Why? Just for fun?
Denver's good.
They are good. You know,
Denver's
what? You're right.
good. Tony Pollard's kind of coming off injuries. I think Denver's kind of one of those teams that you can sit a running back against them every week.
That's fair.
And
yeah,
that's pretty much that.
For my running back, it's kind of the same reason as the Bills. Don't start anybody on the Jaguars. They've got like 3 running backs. Like you go Travis Etienne. I just don't like it.
Until you figure out who's doing what on that team. Week 1, I feel like just best to sit everybody.
Yeah, just sit any Jaguars running back. Even though they're playing the Panthers, I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it.
You want to go to tight end?
Sure, let's do tight end. You could honestly, I'll preface this. You could literally sit any tight end because none of them are that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say Jonnu Smith just because I just think the share is going to be a little weird.
Don't start Kyle Pitts. It's not his year.
Wow.
It's not going to be. There's 18 tight ends projected more points than him. Just pick anybody else. Don't start Kyle Pitts.
All right. And now we're going to jump into our next segment here, our forecasts for next week. This is just going to be, what we think is going to happen next week. Mm-hmm. The big games.
The crucial game.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with that Thursday night football game, Cowboys, Eagles. Come on. Don't even say Cowboys.
No, I'm not
Eagles.
going to.
It's 100% Eagles. Couch, you guys want to answer?
There's
we're gonna shock the world. We're gonna shock. It's our year. We're gonna shock the world.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. We're gonna get spanked.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's.
How about Friday in Brazil? Chiefs versus Chargers.
I didn't realize this game was in Brazil.
I also didn't realize this game was on Friday or it was existing at all. But give me the Chiefs. I think they come in and they win this one kind of pretty easily.
I totally see what you're saying, but Chiefs Chargers is usually a movie. I'm not going to lie.
It is usually pretty good.
I think the Chargers just kind of get lucky and pull it out, to be completely honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Sure. The 1 p.m. window, which is a very rough window, I'll have to say. Best game I could find was Steelers Jets. Aaron Rodgers revenge game. What do you think? Who do you think's coming out of that one?
I think this. I got the Steelers. Do you really think the Jets here?
It's not just Aaron Rodgers revenge game. It's Justin Fields revenge game.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think the Jets pull this one out. I don't know. I'm excited to see them this year.
I'll say with a whole new team for the Steelers, this is the kind of game early season that they would drop.
Go ahead. I see you guys fighting over there. Yeah.
J-E-T-S. Stop it.
I'm not going that far, but yeah.
What are the Jets doing against TJ Watt?
What are the Jets doing against TJ Watt? Justin Fields go.
Justin Fields right to the ground. They're doing nothing. That's the worst football team I've ever seen in my life. They're doing nothing.
Wow, that's crazy. I
gonna
won't lie to
get
you.
demolished.
The Jets could take the Cowboys any day.
No, they couldn't.
100% they could.
They're the New York Jets are the most poverty franchise in sports. They literally are.
Unbelievable.
I think the Jets are gonna beat the Cowboys this year.
No, they're not.
I think they could.
Never.
The Jets are putting together something that people aren't expecting, and I think they're going to be nice. Anyway, we get into the 4 p.m. window. There's a couple games here. We got Texans-Rams first. We both agree on this one, so let's go Rams.
Rams.
Go Rams. And then 4 p.m. again, Lions-Packers. Again, we both agree.
I think Micah Parsons could end up affecting this game a lot more, but
is Aiden Hutchinson back? I'm actually not sure, but
I still think the Lions.
he could also be
overall.
affecting. Yeah, I think the Lions take this one pretty handily. Sunday Night Football, Ravens, Bills. This is a big one. I'm going with the Ravens, unfortunately, as much as I would love to say Bills.
I'm just gonna say the Bills because I hope they win.
Yeah, and you know what? I like when you disagree with me. We can
Exactly.
we could talk about that later. But the Bills are playing at home, which I think is a huge advantage to them. But yeah. All right.
Last one, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, go ahead. Monday Night Football, Vikings, Bears. I actually really don't care that much, but it'd be cool to see the quarterbacks. That's
I'm
what
not gonna lie. Even though the Vikings, they're not gonna be terrible this year, I'm struggling to pick them in any games.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Vikings finished bottom of the division for me, but give me the Bears.
2024 Michigan National Champion action. Colson Loveland, JJ McCarthy on opposite sides. Definitely gonna be fun to watch.
I don't know, man. Vikings Bears. If you're excited,
I made a whole video about JJ McCarthy, and I'm still not excited to watch him.
I'm excited.
All right, well, we're a Bears couch here, and that's all I can really say. Yeah. Anyway, that is going to do it for the first episode of Field Goals and Forecast. Thank you guys for coming back and tuning in again.
It'll probably look different next time.
Yeah, it'll
It's
you're going to see a lot of
make it
changes.
better.
You can just expect that.
Can I have a field goal of the week next week?
Yeah. You know what? Just for you, I got you.
I appreciate it.
Well, tune in to see that, and we will see you all next episode. Bye-bye.
Peace.